to tell you about how being the strong one, the glue that holds your family together, gets you chewed up and spit out. I've spent the last 28 years of my life trying to hold my family together, only to have those same people tear me down and just watch me burn. Now, I might come off a little angry. That's because I am. I'm gonna give you some examples of times I went above and beyond and out of my way to help everyone around me when they needed me. And I'm also gonna tell you about how my family ripped me down and tore me to shreds and left me with nothing. You're gonna hear just how low and dirty some people can be. So we're gonna start off from when I was young. I was born to an absent dad and a junkie mom. Growing up, I was like my two younger brothers' caregiver. I did everything for them. I fed them. My mom was always high in her room, locked up. And a lot of times I was forced to confront my mom. I'd bang on the door and beg her to come take care of her kids so I can rest. I became the only reason my brothers were okay. I became the only reason they weren't scared at night. I was their stand-in mother. There was times I would have to steal peanut butter out of the cupboard and go and hide it so that later that night my brothers and I could have some dinner, because a lot of times people didn't feed us. I was very much in survival mode, trying to keep my brothers happy and alive. When they were being beat and talked to like dogs, I was the one in their corner. When I was 9, I developed a habit that really harmed me. I was scared that my brothers would pass away in their sleep and they would feel like nobody loved them, nobody cared for them, because all the adults around us treated us like shit. So every night I'd be in my room and I would repeat, I love you guys so much. Remember that, okay? I love you. Good night. And I would repeat that over and over and over again until it drove them crazy and they told me to stop or they passed out. And then I would allow myself to sleep. It was my mission to make sure my brothers felt loved, to make sure they were always okay. For 17 years, I defended and took care of my brothers, up until I was 17 years old and kicked out of my own home. At 18, my junkie mom got out of prison. And I thought, maybe I could save her. Maybe I could rehabilitate her and she could live a normal life and she could be my mom, right? I got an apartment. I moved her into our apartment and I took care of her. I housed her, I fed her, I was her personal chauffeur. I did everything for her for years, up until like 8 months ago. When my brother was 18, he was released from a group home and he came and lived with me because he was borderline homeless. He lived with me for about a year. I fed him, I did everything I could for him, and then he moved on. I was there for him when he needed me. When my brother John was about 16, he was going to be sent to a group home for boys. Myself, along with Chris, have been sent to group homes before. We knew what that was like. We knew how toxic it was. I hid my little brother until he was 18 years old. I got him a job, I got him a bank account, I got him clothes, I fed him. I took care of him like he was my son. Eventually, life became too much. It felt like there was so much expected of me and I really, really needed peace. I set my brother John up. I got him a car. I co-signed on the loan for him because I couldn't leave him without any transportation. And I left. My mom moved with me. She was still kind of leeching off of me. And we left and we moved to Texas. Now in Texas, my life was pretty peaceful, but we started going very broke because my mom wasn't holding up her end of the rent. She wasn't holding down jobs. My husband lost his job and we just went broke. We were waiting for food stamps to be approved. So I hit up my brother John, who I had loaned a couple $100 to months prior. I had been asking him to pay that loan back for months. So I hit him up one day again for like the 30th time. Hey John, my kids and I are gonna go hungry. Do you think that you can pay me back that loan? Now keep in mind, I got his bank account for him while he was still a minor, so I was co-signed on that bank account. So I could see all his transactions. I could see all the times he had money and told me he couldn't pay me back. Well, this time I thought he would because my kids were literally about to go hungry. And he was spending a lot of money on questionable things like OF, a lot of OF purchases. When he refused to pay me my money after I have been begging him, telling him we are struggling, that my kids need to eat, I need diapers, I went in the account and I took the money out and I fed my kids. In retaliation, he stopped paying his car loan, fucked up my credit. I had been building to like almost 800. He destroyed my credit. At one point, I had reached out to my brother Chris and I had some property left in our home state and I wanted him to mail it back to me. I really needed this property. I sent him $100 to get this stuff mailed off to me. Do you know what he did? He stole the $100 from me and told me all my items that I needed desperately were lost in the mail. We were so royally that we had to move back to our home state, back into a house full of our toxic family. Me, my husband, and my 3 kids were all living in one tiny bedroom because there was no way my gran was gonna make space for us. My mom was sleeping on the couch in the living room, and then my 2 brothers and my brother's girlfriend were living in the basement. I noticed that my gran had a lot of tolerance for my brothers and my brother's girlfriend. For instance, like violence, drinking, drug use in the home. She would look past all of it. My brother's girlfriend even punched my gran in the face, and my gran did not kick her out. But she had 0 tolerance for my kids. If they had played with their toys and made a mess in the living room, she flipped her lid. She spent months berating my kids every day for doing normal kid things. For a while, I tried to keep the peace and like gently say things, but eventually I got frustrated. Why are you talking to my kids like that, Gran? What the? I started being more stern. Gran, don't say that to my kids. Don't talk to my kids like that. If you can't be nice to my kids, don't say anything to them at all. Gran didn't like that at all. She felt she should be allowed to do whatever she wants in her home, even if it involves my children. There was a lot of fights and arguments over the treatment of my children. There was points when my brother and his girlfriend had said disgusting things about my kids, and when I was mad about it, the entire house treated me like I was crazy, including my own mother. Now, my mom thought it wasn't very good to be on like the losing side, to like side with someone that everyone already hates in the house. So she became besties with my brother and his girlfriend, and she spent her evenings talking shit about me in the basement. There was one time we got in this huge fight and she ran around the house claiming that I had abused her for years. See, in my head, I thought I was trying to save her, but... So the whole house started treating me like I was crazy because I was so angry with everyone for mistreating my kids. There came a point where my own mom was telling me I was a horrible mom, that I don't love my kids. She was saying all she could to bait me into a fight. You insult my kids? You're gonna catch these hands, you know what I'm saying? And that's what happened. My mom caught these hands. And she called the cops on me, and she had me arrested, and she told the cops that I was mentally insane and that I needed help. There was like this mob mentality formed in this house against me and my children. So my brothers would drink excessively, and John specifically would drink so much, and my gran go around the house and gossip about me and fuel him up and make him angry like he's gotta go defend his gran. And he would come upstairs in drunken rages and assault me and my husband several times. I never had him arrested for that though. Never. Now, while living with my gran in the house of horrors, I had caught her in a lie, a really big lie. She had been sending pictures of my kids to my abuser, something I had specifically asked her not to do, and I had caught her doing it. Now, for my gran, her reputation is everything, and if you threaten it, she hates you. Well, me knowing that secret, it threatened her reputation, and she snapped. A couple mornings after I caught her, she had started yelling at my kids one morning because my brother's cats had knocked over a plant on her carpet. She's yelling at my kids, and I'm yelling back at her, don't yell at my kids, Gran, don't yell at my kids. She snaps. She loses her mind. She starts screaming around the house with her hands up in the air, saying that I'm just the worst person in the world, that I'm going to hell, that Jesus doesn't love me, that I'm a horrible mother, that she wants me out, get out, get out. She's screaming at me. My kids are crying. I have to quarantine them all off into the bedroom and shut the door. My brothers and my brother's girlfriend hear my gran yelling, and they come up and fiercely defend their gran against their vicious sister. They treat me as if I'm bullying my gran, and they start talking down to me and saying anything they can to shred not only me, but my children down. They were body shaming my children. We left that day. We had no money, we had nowhere to go, but I took my kids and we left because they bullied us out of that house. Could not keep my kids there anymore because they were being bullied by the very family I had spent my entire life trying to keep together and save. Now fast forward to a couple of weeks ago, we have been late on a few of our car payments. We have one car. Well, my lovely gran called the bank and told them where we are located. And so the bank came and repossessed our car. So now we are jobless, we have zero money, and we have no car. And there is not a soul in sight that would want to help me. Isn't that crazy? I've never been one to ask for help. I've always been the one that everyone came to when they needed help. And for a long time, I thought it was like a community thing. Like, of course I'm gonna help you when you're at your lowest. I don't wanna see you at your lowest. And I guess I had never put too much thought into it. I just figured that if I was ever in a low spot, maybe they would help me out too. But I was wrong. I was dead wrong. So even though I had been draining myself for years trying to help these souls out, I'm still left with nothing. And when I'm struggling and at my lowest, there's no one in sight. I'm angry. When you're the strong one, And you're always giving because you're strong and you have things to give. Sometimes that gets you nowhere, but lonely and deserted. I think kindness is a wonderful thing. And I feel like if you're strong, using your strength to bring people together and to make sure everyone's okay is a commendable thing. But if you're not careful and you give that to the wrong people, you could end up just like me. You could join the club. So like, if you want to make it in life, don't do what I did. Don't follow in my footsteps. Those are not good footsteps to follow. Luckily for me, I have a beaming sense of motivation in my children. So even though these people have beat me down and left me with nothing, I will get through it. I will come back, and I will come back better, stronger, and more knowledgeable than ever. So just remember to use your strength, your resources, your kindness on the right people, because sometimes the right people are not your family members. I hate to say it, it is one of the truest truths I know. Just be careful, peeps. I don't want to see any of you guys end up like me.